Well, the truth is, I'm a big ol' liar, and I'm about to tell you why. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. What is up? My name is Kaylee, and today I am going to be discussing my March TBR. I haven't done a TBR video in quite a while because honestly, I don't know when the last one was. But I haven't really been sticking to TBRs. I've been mood reading. It really benefited me in January. If you watched my January wrap up down below, you'll see that I found some really great books. Probably going to be some of my favorites back in January just by mood reading. It didn't work the same way in February, so we're gonna try and do a TBR this month and see what happens. Now, let's get into the 5 books that I am going to absolutely try my best to get to this month. Now let's start off right off the bat with the reason that I called myself a liar in the beginning, and that is because if you've been on my channel for quite some time, I have said multiple times in the past that it is very unlikely that I would read any Cassandra Clare novels in my life, just because there's so many and I'm so far behind, as in I've never read a single one. But now that I own basically, what are they called again? All of the Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices, I figured I'm gonna give it a shot because I absolutely love the covers. So I might as well read them if I own them, right? That said, I did start City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, and I'm quite a ways into it already, as it is the 3rd of March, and I'm actually really enjoying it. I think it is very polarizing. People really either hate this story or prefer the Infernal Devices trilogy, or people absolutely love all of it. This is a story about a group of people called shadow hunters, and they hunt like the bad demons and vampires and werewolves that exist. But there's also like a level of community amongst them, as long as everyone sticks to the plan, like the rules that are imposed upon them by this thing called the Clave that kind of keeps that side of the world. It's like their government, all right? That said, the main character, Clary, gets kind of thrown into this world unbeknownst to her. She knows absolutely nothing about any of this existing until one day it all falls in her lap and she has to deal with the consequences of that. Now, that said, I have heard why this first book especially is problematic. It is written a long time ago, and I think the shock factor, if you don't know what the big twist is in this book, I won't spoil it for you here, but the fact that I have been spoiled for it has made it actually easier to read because I know it's coming, instead of sitting here thinking one thing and then finding out that it's an entirely other thing. Those of you that have read the series, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but because of that, it's not bothering me at all, so I am thoroughly enjoying this read so far. And that means that I will slowly work through the entire collection as I can. I am reading it digitally, so when I have an ebook, I read it in little clips whenever I have time to do it. So they do tend to take me a little bit longer, but I will definitely get this done by the end of March because I'm like way more than halfway through it. So that is why I'm a liar. I said I would never dive into this world, and here we are. This is a little outside of my comfort zone too, because I very rarely read nonfiction, and this is a collection of essays. It's called Trick Mirror by Gia Tolentino. It is, I've already started it. It's a collection of 7 essays, and what I'll say about it, because there isn't really, the cohesion is age and slightly feminine, like feminist, millennial internet, like how we're dealing as a society, as women in society, with this modern age and what it's doing to us and our psyche and our place in society. And obviously I'll talk more about it in a wrap up, but after having read a little bit of it already, I can say that I think that the audience for this is very specific to an age range. The author is 30, so her timeline of events, like when the internet happened and how it grew and how she grew with it, and how different parts of society have impacted her at certain years, really closely aligns with me because I am almost approximately the same age as her. So I feel like if you're not in your late 20s to like 40, it probably won't impact you the same way, but I'm already really fascinated because the internet became a thing at around the same age that she speaks about it in the first essay. It brought back a lot of memories for me, like Angel Fire and GeoCities, for any of you that are like 80s babies. But yeah, I'm really fascinated to see what the rest of this is like. Essays really aren't my thing. Nonfiction's really not my thing. And so far, like, It's kind of a little depressing because it's definitely an idea. It's her working out her feelings on the topics that she's writing about. And I can't decide if the book is making me depressed or if I'm reading the book because I'm depressed. You know what I'm saying? I'll leave it at that. I did get a Book of the Month Club book this month, and that is A Good Neighborhood by Therese Ann Fowler. I feel like she's written other books before, but I'm not really. Oh yeah, Z, a novel of Zelda Fitzgerald. I knew I'd heard of her before. In any case, this is a story about, who was it? My friend Jamie said that it reminded her of Romeo and Juliet because there's this family, the main character family. She's a single mother and she's raised a biracial teenage son at this point in the story, and they get new neighbors who are rich, and they kind of like build a mansion next door, and they have a problematic teenage daughter, and to kind of bond, like the two families bond over this oak tree on the main character's yard. A lot of things seem to go on in terms of imbalance of social status and race, and two teenagers have like a romance that kind of brings the family together and brings all of this stuff to light. So like the last sentence, last paragraph in the description is what sold me on picking this for my Book of the Month Club pick, which is A Good Neighborhood asks big questions about life in America today. What does it mean to be a good neighbor? How do we live alongside one another when we don't see eye to eye? As it explores the effects of class, race, and a heartrending love in a story that's provocative as it is powerful. And that really sold it for me. It's the kind of books that I've been kind of gravitating towards lately, and I think it will be up my alley. This will be probably the last book I tackle in the month, so this is the least likely to get read, even though I'm trying to stay on top of and get to my backlist of Book of the Month Club books. But I love the cover and I'm excited to get to it. And the next book that I intend to read is a buddy read-along, like a group buddy read-along that is hosted by Julie over at Pages and Pens. I will have her link down below, and that is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. I honestly don't really know much about the plot, and I kind of want to go into it blind like that. The only things I've ever heard about this book is that it will break you. It's a long one. The text is incredibly small. It's basically like trying to fit a Murakami novel into 10 days. So I'm a little nervous about getting it done on the day, like the page numbers done every day that is assigned. Obviously there's leeway there, but I hope to get it done in 10 days because I don't want to spend all of March reading this. But when Julie talked about trying to get a buddy read along set up, I definitely commented on her video and was like, I'm really interested in reading it and maybe it'll motivate me to pick up this really big book. I tend to shy away from the bigger books because of this like insane, you know, goal to get my Goodreads book number read and to like get as many books read a month as I can instead of just picking quality over quantity. So we're doing it this month. We're gonna get into it. I'll tell you all about it when I can. But as of right now, I've got nothing more to say about it than that, except that if you want to join in, ready to get your heart broken in the month of March, right before springs, you should join in. And last but not least, is another read along, but it's like a group read along. There are 6 hosts for it. I'll have them all linked down below. But that is a Robin Hobb read along called The Elderlingalong, which is pretty fun to say. Robin Hobb is an author that I keep wanting to get into because I have been reading more adult works and adult fantasies, and I don't read enough women fantasy writers, outside of YA, I should say. So I really, really have been wanting to get to Robin Hobb, and I just haven't yet, so this was the perfect excuse. And this month we'll be reading Assassin's Apprentice, which is the first book, and I think the Farseer trilogy. Most of the books from this point forward will be done over the course of 2 months because they are quite thick fantasies, but this one's a little bit shorter than your typical, so it is just going to be a March read. And so this is the book I'll be starting right after Little Life read along completes, and I'm looking forward to it. It's a fantasy. It's about an outcast and a royal family and a guy that's trained as an assassin named Fitz, and he has to face dangerous missions and all of that. I mean, it's a royalty assassin fantasy, so. But I have high expectations because people who read Robin Hobb really, really, really love Robin Hobb. So I think I will do. That is it. That is my March TBR. Let me know if you're participating in either of those read-alongs down below, or anything that you are reading in March. Let me know what you're most excited about. Anyone excited that I'm finally reading Cassandra Clare? I don't know. I don't know. We'll check in about that later, right? Feel really rusty. Sorry if this is a mess. That's about all I've got though. Like if you like this video, subscribe if you are new here and would like to see more content from me. I post all my social media links down below. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads. Hope you guys are having a great March. Spring is almost here. Winter is almost over. I cannot wait to be outside more often. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye.